Hi, I'm Adrienne Sanders, assistant principal at Woodhenge High School, and you've been listening to the Woodhenge Podcast.
Well, welcome to episode 2 of the Woodhenge Podcast. I'm Mr. DeSanctis.
And I'm Miss Frederick.
We are so glad you're here. Hope you liked our chat with Dr. Harleman. And I hope your school year is getting off to a wonderful start for students, staff, parents, coaches, referees, anybody.
Everyone.
Your year going good so far?
Yeah, I feel like it's been pretty really good.
Pretty really good?
I mean, if that tells anything. My students are really fun, honestly. Freshmen are just like the best. I know a lot of other grades will hate on me, but I just love seeing like the new faces, and that's like my favorite part. But what about you?
I mean, it's going. I'm trying to get everybody up to speed in intro classes on Photoshop and stuff. And then our block programs are getting to work. So our DMA 1, our junior and seniors are picking up cameras. They've been doing some photography stuff. So if you see them walking, not running through the hallways, taking pictures, that's what that's for. And then DMA 2 is going to continue the legacy of the award-winning Panther show. Hopefully the legacy of it being award-winning too.
Right.
So production is underway on that. Should be out in a couple weeks. To give you something else to look for in addition to the podcast. We're also trying to get some student podcasts going, coming out of the block programs with our junior and seniors. So hopefully we have some more information on that coming out here in the next couple episodes. As this is kind of going, the podcast thing is going. So I think it's kind of cool that we can incorporate that into the curriculum, try and keep things relevant.
I feel like there's so many podcasts out there, and I feel like it was only a matter of time before our school decided to do one. So this is cool.
I had heard of a couple teachers who were like, "Oh, yeah, I thought about doing that," but cheers to us for actually hooking up. Now, in full disclosure, because I'm a satellite teacher for the Warren County Career Center, so my budget, my equipment comes through them. I did put in last year to get the podcasting set up. So if you've been in room 1230, DeSanctis' classroom, in the back, I have the table, and we're on the mics that are hooked to the table with the orange mixer and the laptop. This was set up last year. We dabbled in a little bit, but now obviously we're going a little more all in.
We're live.
So if you walk by and see us talking into the mics, please don't be the one to bang on the windows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, appreciate
it.
Do that. Definitely appreciate it. But yeah, it's now that we're like into the year. It was one thing with the in-service days, and then the first week, and you sleep a lot, and then like now I'm back completely in my routine though. Even on the weekends, I'm up at 5. Oh. Saturday nights, I'm kind of the grandpa. I'm in bed by like 9 or 9:30 again. It's like summer. I feel like summer I get in this weird routine where I end up like staying up way too late once.
Oh my God.
And then I'm just like on that routine.
Yeah.
And now that we're in school, it's like, nope, Saturday night, Friday night, I'm done. If we're working a football game, by the time I get home, I am ready for bed.
Yeah, my routine doesn't really start until like Tuesday when I'm exhausted. Like I get so excited excited or nervous or like ready on Sunday, and then I am like tossing and turning, and I just can't sleep. It's horrible. And then I drink all the coffee. My eye has been twitching for like, since we started school. I mean, I don't know. I just need more sleep, I guess.
Sleep is good.
Yeah. Once Wednesday hits, then I'm exhausted enough that I go to sleep at like 9, wake up at 5, and then I'm out the door. But
has anyone like told you that that's probably a problem?
It's terrible. I tried the melatonin routine too, and I can't get behind it because then I get too sleepy.
Yeah, and then it's hard to wake up.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
I have a coffee mug. My students probably have seen it, but I have a coffee mug that says "Do Not Disturb," and I feel like they understand. Like once it's about halfway or almost gone, then they're like, "Oh, we can engage with Miss Frederick," and I'm like, "Thank you so much." So my students who do that, thank you so much. You love me so well.
Well, we hope everybody's year is off to a good start. I know there's still quite a bit of buzz with the start of the year. I know eventually everything will kind of settle in. I think you hit that like mid to late September kind of slow down of enthusiasm when we realize we are here through May. But hopefully that staves off.
Yeah, and there's so many exciting things. We're going to have homecoming here, and then the dance and all the football games, and it's the swing of fall.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it's still warm, but once it starts to cool off, I think that's when weekend camping trips and
Oh,
pumpkin stuff. And I know my wife is very excited for more pumpkin spice lattes.
I was about to say the same thing.
We had to go the PSL route.
Oh,
Should
look,
I
that's
say
fine.
they're overrated or?
I mean, you can, but it's always it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
We'll hit that here in a couple months. I think was it last year, one of the Panther shows, they did like a holiday drink tasting at Dunkin'. It may have been a Christmas one.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I just drink my coffee. I'll just put coffee in my cup and drink it.
Yeah.
Well, episode 2 is coming up. We had the chance to sit down with our new assistant principal, Miss Adrienne Sanders, who I know the staff have all met. I hope some of the students have had a chance to meet her, kind of not because they're in trouble, and have a chance to chat with her. We really enjoyed our time with her. She comes in with a bunch of cool experience. She's had a ton of different jobs, and I think we don't see a lot of people that have necessarily gone the
Mhm.
route that she went, teaching what she taught
Yeah.
to come up through the admin side. So
Yeah.
we're gonna chat with Mrs. Sanders. Ready to go for episode 2?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. All right, welcome back for episode 2. I'm Mr. DeSanctis,
And I'm Miss Frederick.
and we have the distinct pleasure of being joined by new assistant principal at Little Miami High School, Mrs. Adrienne Sanders.
Woo, woo.
Hello.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
good. Yeah.
Yes. No, thank you for having me. This is great. Like I said, I've never even done a podcast.
Well, as we mentioned, it's new for us too, so we're all kind of trying to figure this out together. But we're glad you're here, in a sense of A, sitting in our classroom so that we can do this, but B, joining the crew as well.
Yeah.
Big
The
shoes to
Panther
fill.
crew.
Big shoes to fill, taking over for Harleman.
I know.
You'll do great.
I know. And one thing I can already tell, I feel like the staff like wants him in this position and likes him and has a ton of buy-in. So
Hmm.
that's a great thing because it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that buy-in sometimes, and I think we've seen it. We saw it through the PD days to start the year, and I think with the start of the school year, you see it too, because the students know him as well.
Hmm.
So I think it's going to be kind of cool this year to see how this plays out and see how you kind of fit into the puzzle here too.
Hmm.
Um,
But I feel like already, kids like you, and I feel like the staff likes you, and like I don't know, you just fit in already. I saw you up in one of our many meetings, and I was like, I mean, she already fits in. Like, you're joking with them, and it just, I don't know, I felt comfortable, and I don't know. You don't know me very well, but you will. We're
Awesome.
you need anything, I'm here. Anyway, but I just automatically, I was like, oh, yes, I feel like this is such a good team,
Yeah.
good support team.
No,
So it's good.
No, I appreciate that. I'm honestly excited to be here. And I only worked, so I actually knew Kevin before I worked here. So when he was a principal at the alternative school,
Yeah.
I was at Sycamore High School, and we would send about 7 or 8 kids there.
Hmm.
So I would go over there maybe like once or twice a year just to check in. So I knew of him, not like I am now, like he does like jokes and many other things. So, but I could tell right off the bat too, like his style, I'm very similar to. Like you just got to get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Like you got to get out there and being visible and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, I was glad. I mean, he said he does like 5,000 steps or 5 miles a day or something. He walks in the building.
Yeah, he's running around this place.
the first year of the Panther show, we actually did an episode where we followed him around the hallways.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, the kids are like, he's just moving too fast.
Yeah.
It's like, you're gonna have to keep up. He's getting older, and you're
Just-
not.
My
But
goodness.
I know you have some pretty extensive experience in education, but before we even get into that, we want to step back and take back to your high school time. What
Yeah.
were you like as the high school student? Because when we chatted with Harleman, we got a vibe of what he was like, and I think it was about what we thought it would be. What was Mrs. Sanders like in high school?
So I went to Milford High School. I graduated in 2002.
Love.
2002. So it was already 20 years, which is crazy. The senior superlatives, I was voted most athletic
Love that.
and most humorous. So I don't know. Like I think I'm not like make jokes. It's more just like I just don't take things as serious and like you have to laugh. I feel
Mhm.
like there's times you don't, but like there's times it's just like I don't know. You gotta make
Right.
light of it. I actually wanted to be. My dream job was to be on SNL. But
I
Like
love
back in
that.
the day, like we literally had like camcorders that you would sit on your shoulder.
Mhm.
They were massive. And some friends and I would just make stupid videos. Like it was so before I didn't even have a cell phone until I was like almost 18, which is crazy.
Mm.
And you only got to play like Snake. That's like the
Yeah.
only option.
Yep.
But I played sports my whole life. I played soccer and basketball. And then just would do stupid things. Like not, like I got in trouble. Like I wouldn't get in trouble, but just like being silly and stupid
Mm.
and always up for a laugh. So
I love that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Nice.
just
When did you get to the point where you wanted to get into education? Because this is a far cry from SNL. I don't know if
it is.
that's
I-
updated
right.
yet.
So, yeah, spoiler alert, never got on SNL. So I just actually find a real job. So my whole family's in education. My mom was a third grade teacher. My dad, PE teacher, like cousin, sister, brother-in-law, like everyone's in education. So I knew I wanted to. So I actually wanted to be a kindergarten teacher at first.
Oh.
I was like, because I loved my kindergarten teacher. Like we had her for dinner. We knew of her family and through church and stuff. But then as I got older, I actually was like, I loved math. Like I was never bright. Like now running like AP courses, I'm like, I never took that in high school. More honors. It was just like I think they just called it college prep,
Mm-hmm.
which is like just your normal. But I did like math because there's a formula and there's an answer. I'm just like cool. Like I know I wish I liked to
Look,
read.
I
don't.
like math too. It's black and white.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. It's okay. We like our differences. It's good.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll be a math teacher. I went to UK.
Mhm.
Started off was like failing math, like entry level calculus, stats. I was like, oh, this is painful.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just looked at like other options, and there was like career and tech. So my actual certificate's in family consumer science, but most people, like if I say that, that's why I'm like, I introduced myself yesterday to staff. I'm like, I'm a home ec teacher because most people still know it,
Yeah.
like home ec. Because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just not gonna be like I'm family consumer science. Like what the hell is that? Yeah,
like ooh, fancy.
right. They're gonna be like, what does that mean? If anything, it almost sounds like you
a
start to
little
say family,
pretentious.
like a counselor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So,
I was at first thinking like, I don't know why, but at first I thought hotel, and I was like hotel, and then you were like home ec, and I was like that makes more sense than what I was thinking.
which like the funny thing was when I started, it's a very small field.
Mhm.
So when I started, like most of the teachers I was with are like near retirement, and so but like they wanted it to be known as family consumer science. Where I'm like, whatever.
Right.
Like people don't know, they don't care, they don't. So just home ec.
Home ec.
Home ec.
The worst.
So yeah, so then I did my student teaching, and then started teaching at Holmes High School, which is in Covington. So I taught like life skills. I taught some cooking classes. Literally would come into school and like I had a washer and dryer in my classroom, and behind there'd always be the sticky pads with like mice on them, and I would have to call the custodian like, hey, that was like the morning routine. But
Babes.
yeah,
Ooh.
it was just an old building, like a super old building. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved teaching that, honestly, because it's just like you would get just a mix of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love to eat and I love to cook already. So it's kind of like, sure, this works. But I taught sewing, like basic skills, and the kids just would mess around on the machines. I'm like, okay, let's rewind.
I love that. That's funny.
Yeah, they would like break them all the time. I'm like, they would just like ram on the
Oh gosh.
pedal.
Yeah.
And kids were like, we don't sew, we use staplers. I'm like, okay, well, let me teach you. Let me teach
This
you
is
how
why
to-"
we're here.
I'm like, well, you never know. I'm like, you might lose a button. You have to go buy a new shirt, save some money, learn how to sew on a button. So like super simple
that's a handy
things, and
skill.
then like pillows, like the old school like
Yeah.
8x10 pillow that like like my kids liked it, and it was just different. Like
I feel like that's such a necessary skill.
Yeah.
Like A, cooking, B, sewing. I made money in college sewing people's like leggings and pants and stuff like that because I knew very, very rudimentary sewing stuff, and no one could afford to get new clothes because we were like, all poor
Poor
college
college
kids.
kids.
right.
But I was like, $4 for one of these, and I'll do this, and they're like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's important.
Well, that's what
You
I
can
did
make
that
money.
with. I did that with cooking in undergrad,
Mm.
and even when I got into the professional world, because I grew up cooking in a family that cooks, so I'd make like a big tray of something and sell it for like $4 or $5 a bowl.
Oh, wow.
Bring your own bowl.
Nice.
Oh yeah, no, that was nice because then I paid for all of because I'd pull what I wanted out, and then I paid for all my food, and then I made extra money. And everybody was like, "This is way better than like fast food, the cafeteria. It's cheaper than fast food." So, yeah,
That's
no, I had my own
awesome.
little business going for a little while. I thought about bringing that back for lunches around here. I've been a
You got a
little busy.
podcast now.
Yeah, now we're doing this, and I actually teach classes too. I know it's
Oh,
weird.
yeah, you're a teacher.
I only do it a
That's
little bit of the
crazy.
day, but I do
Right.
teach sometimes around here. So
Wow.
as you're teaching home ec, did you always want to get into administration, or was it kind of like I want to teach and I'll see what happens?
A little bit of both. I honestly, I like 50% of me was like, I knew it was a dying field because, like, like budget cuts, like that's typically a program that they cut first. So it's kind of like, I don't want to get my master's in it because I'm like, I just feel like I might just not have a lot of options.
Right.
But then a couple of people in my family were in administration. I was like, I kind of like that. So I just went to UC and just did the admin program there. But my sister became a counselor.
Oh.
And then her husband became assistant principal. And I was like, I think I'll do the admin route. I was like, I don't know if I have I don't know. Like, counselors are great what they do, and it's so needed.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, I don't know if I honestly don't have the patience. Because I'd be like, all right, let's go. Let's get going. You're good. Come on. We got it.
I feel the same
I don't know,
way.
is that bad?
I couldn't do that, which is ironic because, like, teaching, you're always with those kids and you're talking to them, you're learning about their life and stuff. But I feel like it's different because they don't always come up to you with like different problems and stuff. And generally, they will problem solve with their counselors. I could never do what the counselors do.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, they do. What they do is so needed. I think they definitely have like a niche for that. You kind of have to be able to listen and comfort, and it's like you said, it is funny because you do it in the classroom, but like, and sometimes like now kids are just coming with so much. It's like, I didn't know where to start,
Right.
So
I couldn't do what you do, and I mean, goodness, admin roles are really insane in my opinion. But Dr. Harleman told us previously that he had like a bazillion meetings and all that stuff, and I mean that sounds like a lot. I mean, a lot. Goodness. But I guess for my question for you is, what do you think I guess a challenge for this year that you're most excited to perform or to do or to face as your new role here?
Yeah, probably two things. One is just to get to know, like literally, I want to try to know everybody's name and like have a connection with them. So it's not just like, okay, you teach English. A little bit more,
Right.
You teach English and have a podcast, but
yeah,
there's more
right.
there.
Yeah, like
Right.
a little bit more. Like, and I know it was funny. Whoever that comedian Jerry that was
Jerry
on.
Oh yeah.
He's right though. Like you got to build relationships with your coworkers. And when I sent out that tiny little survey, a lot of people did say that. Like I like the people here because it is like you want to come to a place you're not like ugh. It's not fun. And you want to be the best teacher, whatever your role is. And it's like typically when you're happier at work, you're a better employee.
Yeah.
So,
well, life is too short to be miserable all the time.
right.
Yeah.
We got to make the most of it.
I agree. So it'd be like to get to know staff and like actually have like a real connection, and then kind of figuring out like what is the mission here,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is right now. I mean, I think it's like I've heard a lot of positive things. Obviously it's like growing like crazy. But it's kind of like what is our why and how can I contribute?
Yeah.
So those would be the two probably. Like I'm looking forward to both of those.
Those are awesome.
I think it's important to ask too, now that summer is going and we're getting towards the fall, it's like our last chance to go, hey, what did you do this summer? Because now everything's going to be like, oh
yeah,
Thanksgiving's coming, I'm going to do Halloween.
Right.
But I think it's still warm enough out. What did you do this summer?
We went to Florida. So we went to the beach. Love to just like I love literally. So I have 4 kids, 8, 7, 5, 2.
Oh my goodness.
So like it's like wake up, breakfast, go to the beach, hang out for like 2 to 3 hours, and come back, eat lunch, go to the pool.
Yep.
Then come back and then either dinner, kind of hit the pool again, or take a walk on the beach. Like I could do that
every single day. Oh, same.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't need the touristy stuff.
You said that they I remember you saying something like you brought your kids to Kings Island.
Yes, we did KI. We started the KI.
Oh gosh.
Yes, Soak City, aka Germ City. But
Yeah. Oh,
I was like, whatever. Like as soon as we get home all the time, like
disgusting.
just take everything off. I'm gonna burn it. No, I'm kidding.
I know people
Like-
do that after plane rides too. Just no, you're getting
Ooh.
changed outside. You're not coming in the house like that.
I know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Soak City, Germ City. But I'm like, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
kids. I don't want to.
My 6-year-old, we brought her to Soak City a couple times this summer, and I was just like, oh God, it's just gross, because she would want to change out of her swimsuit immediately, and I'm like, we're 10 minutes from home, like you can.
Yeah.
She'd be like, no, and I'd be like, okay, and then they'd stand in the gross, sticky, like changing.
Yes.
I couldn't. It was disgusting. I was like, all right, very quickly, let's do this. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Wow, my goodness, that's a lot of things to balance. Big family, and then this job too. That's so exciting, though. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what I want to know, like something in like a fun fact about you.
Sure.
Okay.
I've had a ton of random jobs.
Okay.
So I was the Easter Bunny.
What?
I sold knives.
What?
Cutco.
Yes, I cut to penny.
Really?
I sold it to like my uncle, neighbor, and mom.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
was like, all right, I gotta.
But don't you get like certain money for like booking appointments and stuff? Yeah, a couple of us did that in college, and you would just run to all your
Cutco!
professors, all your friends, and their parents, and be like, "Look, if I can just have 10 minutes of your time,
Yeah.
I can make some money."
Uh-huh.
And like, oh yeah, no, Cutco is, oh gosh,
I don't even know what that is. Oh my
They're
gosh.
it's
just
probably
type
for
of
the
knives.
best.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's hilarious. It was Cutco. Because back then, back before the internet, I got like a postcard in the mail, and it was like you could make up to like $12 an hour. Well, back
Oh,
then
wow.
that was like sure, sign me up. So I drove out to like Princeton and just got knives, and then again sold them to my uncle, neighbor, mom.
Oh my gosh, I love
I mean,
that.
truth be told, they're not half bad knives, but
No,
yeah,
my
you
mom
would do it
still
just to make
has
the
them. I
money.
mean, this was like 20 years ago.
Wow.
So with the Easter Bunny,
Yeah, I was
Easter
like,
Bunny.
we need to go back
Cutco.
to the Easter
That was
Bunny
high
real
school.
fast.
So again, like a flyer. It was like, come work for Cherry Hill Photo. Sure. Again, like, make up to $10 an hour. Sure, I'm in. And it was at Kenwood Mall.
Oh my
And you got
gosh.
10% off the food court. So I'm like, Annie
Done,
Ann's. I'm
done.
in.
Yeah, Annie Ann's.
Like, I'm totally in. But they're like, actually, no, you're not taking photos. You're going to be the Easter Bunny. I was like, okay.
You just
They're
stand
probably
there.
just like, who cares? Like, this chick's 16. She doesn't care.
Oh my god.
So the funnier part was my sister. So my sister and I are 16 years apart. I was
Mhm.
a total accident. My mom had me at 40. But back then they thought she was my grandma. She did not like that. Because women back then didn't have kids at 4. Now, like, women
Yeah.
have kids at 50.
Mhm.
So my sister and I are 16 years apart. So her daughter was like 2 at the time. And I'm like, oh, you got to bring Ellie. Like, come, like, I'll be the Easter Bunny. Totally freaked her out.
No.
And then it got her more scared because I'm like, hey, growing up, they called me 80. I'm like, I'm Aunt 80. And then that got her more
Oh,
scared.
yeah.
She's like, why are you so scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like sweating inside a suit.
Oh no,
Oh.
when I worked in sports, I ended up being the mascot a couple times. I've been Rudy Flyer a couple times. The team I worked for in North Carolina, Summers in the Triad of North Carolina as the mascot during the day.
That's hot.
Holy
you're
cow.
sweating.
Oh yeah, and like you see the kids and they run. I'll never forget. I had to kick them up to get like they gave out team pictures and they wanted them autographed by the mascot. And I'm in the outfit and my boss is the handler, and he hands me the Sharpie and fumbling with the gloves because you only have like 2 or 3 fingers. I don't know what the Easter Bunny was, but these were like it wasn't normal.
Oh my god.
They hand me a picture and I sign it Nick.
No. They probably
And
didn't
I did
read
it. I did it for like the first 3, and the general manager's like, "It looks like Bingo forgot his name." And I was like, "Oh."
Like,
So
that's my
somewhere-
middle name.
Somewhere outside of Burlington, North Carolina, some poor kid had like a team picture up on the wall. It's just signed Nick for no good reason whatsoever.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
That's
no, the kids will
hilarious.
run from you. I had adults just like that didn't want to get close to you.
Yeah.
I feel like the Easter Bunny is a little more polarizing, being like a children's thing, but like the big
Yeah.
mascots were a little weird.
Just
It looked
random.
creepy though. I feel like. Did it have like the creepy eyes and like the?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
my sister still has she bought the key ring. She still has it again as a joke.
That's awesome.
So
So
my
Easter
gosh.
Bunny,
Easter Bunny sold
Knife
knives. I
salesman.
worked at Frisch's, worked at Perkins. I was
Love
a
that.
busser. I worked at Sears.
Oh.
If you remember that story?
Yeah, I do.
I actually worked at Sears Optical.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Right, sold glasses. I just had the most random jobs.
An extended resume. Oh my gosh.
Well traveled.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. And then, and the funny thing was, I always was still working when I was teaching, because I was just like, you didn't make a lot.
Yeah.
So I was teaching, and then I would coach. I coached a couple years. I coached girls basketball. And then I worked at Macy's. I worked at, like, I literally had 2 jobs up until I was almost 30. I was like, okay,
gosh.
Mama's got to, like, I got this, like, 2 jobs is not, yeah.
That's a lot.
But then finally, actually, the first year I became an administrator. It was like the first time I didn't have like 5 like W-2s. I was like, okay, finally, I made it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Started with 9 jobs. Now we're at 1
Yeah.
W-2. Heck yes.
So,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
yeah, I worked at Gold's Gym. Another one.
Gold's
Just a
Gym.
bunch of
Oh my
random
gosh.
places. All these places don't even.
Half of
still
them don't
probably- yeah.
exist anymore.
Like
I mean,
yeah, the joke was like, people were like, wait, you worked at Perkins? But most of them, I think, aren't around here.
yeah.
Good old
Just-
Perkins.
Good old Perkins. Though I thought that was closing down. It was on Kings Mills or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I love me some Perkins.
I know.
Mhm. Dang, that's
So
really
yeah, that's
cool.
something, yeah, just random probably, or interesting.
I love that.
Well, I know you have another meeting to run to because you are an administrator, and that is your
Yes.
top job is to schedule meetings and then go to meetings.
I know.
But
Can
Lauren
I do
had like
one thing?
Of
a
course.
quick.
Okay, so I know that I asked Dr. Harleman similar questions, but I want you, I'm going to kind of test you a little bit.
Sure.
I'm going to give you words that are slang words for kids, and you're going to try and define them.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Salty.
Like you're super, like you're bitter. Your butt hurt.
Yes. Love it. Mood.
I mean, like just how you are, how you're feeling today. Like, what's your vibe today?
Yes. Oh, perfect. Asking for receipts.
Like tell me when and where, or the why. Like give me like, or even like a screenshot, something. They
Yes.
want to know the why.
Oh, you're kicking Dr.
She's way
Harleman's
better.
butt for sure. Yeah,
You
you
should
are.
know. Come on.
There were a couple he was, no cap.
Like you can't like, okay. I mean, if you're capping on somebody, you're making fun of them, you're putting them down. No cap, like, hey, stop. Like you can't make fun of that person. Maybe. I actually even heard no cap.
No cap is like, so cap means it's like, what is that? Fake? Hold on.
You really want to do this without
It's
like Urban
Oh,
Dictionary or anything?
it isn't a lie. It means it's like truth. No cap.
Oh, instead of almost saying like no lie. It's just
Yeah.
no cap. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that one. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Oh my goodness. Swerve. If you gotta swerve on someone.
Oh, well, just okay. If I got to swerve on somebody, I got to like almost go against them.
Yeah, like you
little bit.
avoid them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
TBH. It's like texting lingo almost.
I actually don't know what that means.
To be honest.
Oh, to be honest. Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting it much more worse.
No.
Like something inappropriate.
I didn't know it at
Shocker.
first either, and I heard it
Well,
in the
just-
classroom, and they were like, I was like, what are you saying? They're like, to be honest. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, she definitely has a meeting, TBH, so we should
Okay,
probably let her do
last
admin
one.
stuff.
Last one. All good.
Slaps. If something slaps.
Like funny? No.
No, it means just like it's delicious. It's good. It's
Oh,
awesome.
okay,
Oh, that
okay.
slaps.
Okay.
Just like our interview, our
Hey,
podcast.
what a transition.
You.
What a transition.
Seriously.
Well, that's episode 2 in the books. Miss
Okay.
Sanders, thanks so much
Thank
for coming and hanging
you.
out with
Yeah.
us.
Thank
Maybe we'll do like a
you.
mid-season checkup. But school year's off to a good start. Glad you're here. Thanks
Mhm.
for coming.
Glad to be here.
And we will see you around the hallways.
Okay.
Thank you.